So I think I'm going to title this video The Diary of a Serial Entrepreneur. What does that even mean? A serial entrepreneur. In my mind, it means someone who just builds things better than they grow or manage things. Now, I could be wrong. Some people just start stuff and maybe keep all the plates spinning and keep all the balls in the air, and then they just add to it. They just grow like an empire or something. I am definitely not that kind of guy. I'm more of the serial entrepreneur that has some big idea and kind of brings that idea to life and license it, sells it, licenses it, patents it, runs it for a while, builds it up, someone else buys it, takes it over, or I stop, those types of things. And here's the thing, here's the crazy thing about this life that is as exciting as it is difficult. It is the reinventing of yourself over and over and over and over again. I guess a person like me needs that type of challenge, or enjoys that process. And at the same time, I don't. It's like it's hard to explain. So when you work in the same field your whole life, you develop contacts and you learn. If I was just doing YouTube, you become an expert at YouTube. You know how everything works. You know what to do, and everybody else asks you, well, how do you do this on YouTube? I don't know. You're the expert. And I'm like, yeah, at one point I was an expert on YouTube. But before that, I was an expert on canopy chairs, or before that, I was an expert on, candle store, or before that, I was an expert, in music, or, being in a band and getting signed. And each one of these areas of my life, then I, like even building apps, I had the idea for the Glimpse app, and started from scratch, never built an app, never even knew a developer personally, and went on to rentacoder.com, found like a business, found a developer to partner with, and but everything I've ever done was starting over and doing something somewhere else with a whole new set of people. Not necessarily the development part. It's usually been with Dave or one or two other people along the way. I did some stuff with my family, my sister. I did some stuff with, and my aunt and my dad. Like, that was a whole thing. And I've done a project with, I've done projects by myself. And with Esther a couple times. But every single time, all of these things were just like me starting all over again. And really, that's what I'm trying to say. You have to have an appetite for starting over and being and knowing nothing about what you're doing, unless you're going to be a serial entrepreneur in the same space. So if I'm a YouTuber and I started with one channel, and now I've got 20 channels and links and affiliates and people running different, like that would be someone that you could say they're a YouTuber. That's who and what they are. Well, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a musician, I'm a app developer, I'm a product developer, whatever. So here I am again with the Hover headset. So you already know, I'll keep it short, but in case somebody is watching this video for the first time and you haven't ever seen one of my videos, my latest project is launching a thing called the Hover headset for the Apple Vision Pro. And on this project, once again, I kind of signed up like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll figure that out. And I'm deep in trying to figure out Shopify and Amazon. And building a website. I've had websites, but I never built them. I have fulfilled literally hundreds and hundreds of orders, maybe thousands of orders, between a couple different businesses that I ran, started, created. But I'm sure I printed a label and sent some stuff out, but there was just always people around that were doing other things. And Dave and I just started again. And I was dumb enough to just say, yeah, I'll figure that out. And I'm just finding myself sitting over here in my house, trying to learn things all over again, trying to figure things out, trying to build another network of support to be able to do all these things, trying to raise the money to do it, like. And so normally, it's fun to talk about, how cool it is to be a serial entrepreneur, or how fun it is to blaze a trail and go do something you've never done, or try to do something someone else hasn't done. And but you got to know what you're signing up for. And for me, it means like reinventing yourself all the time, every few years. For me, it means at almost 60 years old, you have to have the spirit and the energy of a young person, who just isn't stopped by anything. And that's who I've always been. It's just like, I'm 26 years old and I have my first idea for a product, and developed it with Dave, patented it, licensed it, and it began. I never patented anything. I never licensed anything. That is a very, very, very intimidating world to be in. If there's anybody out there's like, oh, I had an idea, but I don't know how to patent it. I don't know how to license it. Well, I didn't either. My dad didn't. Nobody. I've never even known anybody patent anything personally in my life, ever. In my circle, in the family I was raised in, and the friends that I knew, in the school that I grew. I don't know if anyone in like my high school's ever patented anything. I have no idea. Or at least, patented, produced, took it to, I'm sure people. Anyway, I'm trying to tell you that it's really, really hard. And because it's really hard, it's extremely rewarding when you figure it out. And then on this particular project, my girlfriend has been helping a lot. And that is a new thing. I have never had a creative working relationship with a romantic partner. It's always been a friend, but not my, when I was married with kids, my wife was a full-time mom, and she was just like, what do you think about this, Andrea? What do you think about that? And she's like, it looks good to me. I don't know, And, she was there to talk to and bounce things off of, but not ever like, hey, I'll handle all this for you and you handle that and we're going to do this together. And that's always honestly been a little bit of a dream of mine. And then meeting Julia and telling, her what my life's about and saying, hey, if I ever end up developing a product while we're dating, you're going to get to kind of see the whole process. And she's like, that's going to be fantastic. And I want to learn and I want to be a part of it. And not like a part of it as if, we're necessarily like signing contracts and things like that. Just like, I love you, we've been together for 3 years now. And, oh my God, this is fun. And so the promise that we made to each other is if it's not fun, let's just not do it. So basically we have had as much fun working together as we can. But when you work together, things get stressful, and it adds another level of complication. Some relationships can handle that. So far, ours is handling it just fine. But it's almost like, do you need that extra? Because it is going to be an extra bit of stress. Now, for some people, you'd say, no, that's an extra bit of closeness. We don't just love each other, but we kind of work together, and we love that. That fits us. And I guess it's yet to be seen if that is going to be like a long-term thing that Julia and I, maybe, when I get this project off the ground and the next project off the ground that should come right behind it, just a few months from now, I would say in a year from now, there'll probably be maybe even 2 more products out in the market from the stuff that Dave and I are working on. But, each one's going to have to be like, we have the hover headset is what it is. And there's a bike seat project that we're working on that has a lot of has a massive potential. It's pretty amazing. The prototype is like 99% done, and I know this is going to sound like an extraordinary claim, but I can back it up sooner than later when we apply for a patent on this bike seat. But Dave and I have created, and when I say Dave and I, but mostly mean Dave, I'll tell you the story of the bike seat when we get further along, but essentially I challenged him that an idea he had was impossible. He got inspired by something he saw online, and he's like, I think I have an idea how to make the most comfortable bike seat in the world. That has never been done. And we had talked about this bike seat stuff for years. We had made prototypes and tried different solutions, and everything from just like a pure fabric seat, almost like a lawn chair seat, to you guys remember my stand-up bike that I built and took to Burning Man, and that was like had this seat that kind of moved in and out of your way as you stood up and rode in this weird bike. And it was never a commercial product, but yeah, Dave and I have never really come up with anything great to like say, oh, we got to take this to market, until Dave took on this bike seat project. And of course I talked to him about it every day, and I was laughing at him. I was like, it's Dave, it's not possible. It defies the laws of physics. Okay. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And then one prototype after the next, he's honed in on what I think is truly incredible. Like, yeah. So anyway, but I don't know any damn thing about bike companies and bike seats, and I don't know. You just got to start from scratch. You got to go out there and you got to go, okay, well, do we license it? We know we're going to patent it. Do we license it? Do we build it ourselves? How much money do you have to raise? Oh my God. And then do we partner? Do we, like, who knows the answers to all of those questions about what me and Dave should do with this bike seat? Who knows all those answers about what me and Dave should do with the hover headset? Who knows all those answers about, Esther had never built an app before. And when we worked on the Glimpse app together, really none of us knew what we were doing. And then a few years later, she builds Squad. Fortunately, I got to be a part of that as well. And that was a wild success. And we laughed at each other going like, if we would have known what we didn't know, we probably never even would have started the other project, the Glimpse project. But a lot was learned from that. And perhaps some of those things that we learned played a role in the success of Squad, the app that was acquired by Twitter. But here I am again, right smack in the middle of a brand new project with brand new challenges, delays, financial stuff. And then the Apple Vision Pro is so niche. We've never really done anything super niche, trying to, I don't know, I guess we've sometimes aimed for bigger things or nothing at all. And this time we're like, well, why don't we try to just do something real small and not go that whole route? And so this was supposed to be simple, easy, and fun compared to things we've done before. And it is. I'm not saying it's not. It's just, here I am again, and I'm just coming out here to say, be careful what you ask for. Know what you're getting yourself into before you ever watch a video like this and say, that's what I want. I want to, that's like what I'm called to do. I get bored easily, and I'm good at starting things and not so great at being a great manager, or so yeah, the hover headset. So I've never reached out to YouTubers and asked them to. I have never, as long as I've been on YouTube for 18 years, I have never emailed someone, cold email, and just said, hey, you have the opportunity to review the hover headset, an Apple Vision Pro accessory, and then have people come back and want to either charge you thousands of dollars, or ask you things you don't know, or want to do stuff you've never done before, or ask you questions you don't know the answers to. And it's just like, I'm just sitting there typing away, doing something I've never done, dealing with people in a way I've never dealt with. I've never been on the side of looking for people to review products, creating affiliate partners and links, and managing like AdWord campaigns. And now we've got TikTok. You get on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, X, YouTube, or do you do it all? Do you just go one channel? Like, does anyone actually know the answer to all those things? Probably not. It just probably depends on every situation and everything. But yeah, the hover headset, we're right smack in the middle of it. We got this website up, and then the next thing you know, like, this is the latest thing. So we flip all the switches, we turn it on, I make a few videos, we have a few sales coming in, we're really excited, and then the next big thing is Amazon. That's where I buy most everything. Like if I know Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot or the grocery store doesn't have what I'm looking for, I go on Google, which takes me to Amazon, and I click a button and I have it the next day with free shipping, and I can just take it back real easy. Like, Amazon is amazing. And if you go on Amazon and type in Apple Vision Pro head strap, you're going to see at least 5 or 6 products that are trying to solve the problem of the Apple Vision Pro, being a tricky fit. Let's put it that way. So we're already trying to solve a problem that isn't our problem. It's Apple's problem that this thing's so heavy. And so we're really just putting a Band-Aid on. If we could really fix the problem, it would be make it not so heavy. But anyway, so we turn it on, and I'm like, okay, this is just the latest. This is just bringing you up to date to the second. I'm going to let you guys go, and maybe with each challenge that comes up that's so new to me, I'll come out here and talk about it. But I go over to Amazon, and I'm filling everything out to just, we already have all the words where we're going to write and pictures we're going to take and little videos we needed to make for our Shopify store. And we can just kind of plug all that stuff into Amazon and turn it on, and if people search for Apple Vision Pro head strap or headset, ours will pop up. We can pay to have it show up at the top or not pay at all, and just, we can start getting reviews and, just all of that. It'll be great. And I go to open up the store, and it says, are you selling your product or someone else's? And I'm like, well, I'm selling my product. And then they're like, okay, well, what's the name of your brand? And I'm like, the hover headset. the Hover for Apple Vision Pro, and but yeah, it's our product, and we made it. And they're like, well, the only way you can prove that to us is with the trademark. You have to apply for a trademark and own that brand, the brand Hover headset. But the brand is actually not Hover headset; it's just Hover, which is a headset for the Apple Vision Pro. So I'm like, okay, so we have to go out and raise another $1,000, like about $600 for the lawyer and about $350 per classification for a trademark. So we're just trademarking the name Hover. We never attempted to patent this. We made that choice early on that this was a little bit of a passion project. Who knows if the Apple Vision Pro will even be being sold in a year or two from now. Who knows if they discontinue it or something? I don't know. So we're like, yeah, we got to sell. We figured we had to sell about 1,000 Hover headsets to kind of like break even in a way, to be honest. Not, so like I said, this is not like some big, it was like, let's just do it. We can do it. And we are doing it. But yeah, so we had to apply for this trademark. We had to spend a bunch of money. I have an appointment with a patent attorney, patent and trademark attorney. There's a classification for, the AR, VR slice of the market that we're going after. But it's like another 2 weeks. Another $1,000. All right. Hey, friend, can I borrow a little bit more money? How much you need? Oh, I don't know, like $1,500. Would $2,500 be? Oh, man, thank you so much. Oh, man. So that's been my life for what feels like, this all happened when we had everything shipped into us from overseas. Took a month longer to get here. Cost $1,000 more than it was supposed to. Probably $800 more than it was supposed to. No, I guess it was about 1,000. And now we have this new trademark thing that we have to do, or we can't sell the Hover headset as a branded store. It has to literally be generic, so it can't even say where it's going. Just generic. Literally they just put the word in generic store. Do you want to buy the Hover headset? And then if we have any comments, reviews on there, once we do get it trademarked, we can't switch it. You got to start a new channel, not a new sales thing on Amazon. I don't know. So, and then these YouTubers that are going to review the product for us want affiliate links, and so you got to determine how to do that, how much. Anyway, if there's anybody watching this video that, and I'm talking about like a friend, if you know me or whatever, I'm not looking to like go hire a bunch of people for something I don't even know if this is going to be financially viable. But if there's like an Amazon store expert out there or a Shopify expert, which by the way, I did post a thing on Facebook about an hour ago, and I already had a friend of mine, a trusted technical friend. They're like, hey, I think I can help you with some of the Shopify stuff. So that might be covered. But yeah, if you know anything about Amazon and you're like one of those people that just like, oh, I can tune up your Amazon whole thing and get everything, tell you what to do, and you're going to be set. That would be fantastic. Or Shopify store owners out there, that would be fantastic. That could help get us over the finish line here and get things. Basically, I think once we get up on Amazon, which I think is primarily where our sales are going to come from, and we've had a few already organic people just finding it through Google search, because the Apple Vision Pro is super niche, so it's not hard to find when there's only a few people that have made a product to solve that problem. But it's hard. being a serial entrepreneur is really, really hard. And it's not wearing me down right now. It's just I keep remembering that, man, this isn't as fun. It's being like Mr. Creative and Mr. Idea Guy is a world apart from kind of like having to figure every single thing out by yourself. But then, at the end of it, think about how much I've learned. That's great. But if I don't do something like this again and again and again, I have to relearn whatever it is we do next. And the relearning takes time, money, mistakes, new partners, collaborators, new market channels, you can't rely on all the stuff that you've been doing and all the things that you've built up. And, like if we had a brand selling Apple Vision Pro accessories and then we just plugged in the Apple headset into it, well, that's fantastic. But on the other hand, when you've just never done anything in the Apple Vision Pro space, you're starting from scratch and it's really, really hard. So have a few big challenges. Figuring out the whole Amazon stuff, very overwhelming. Figuring out the Shopify technicalities, very overwhelming. How much it's going to end up costing to launch something like this and the time it takes has been a little overwhelming. And that, it's my journal, my diary entry for a 58-year-old serial entrepreneur who is starting from what feels like almost scratch. Again and again and again and again. And going through all the things again, and just I haven't done this in a few years, and my body's it's like out of shape. so I'm working out, trying to figure it out, and that's my journal entry for whatever the date is. April something, 2025, episode 1, the diary of a serial entrepreneur.